Om सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। हरि ओम, salutations to all. So Asuri Sampada is described in the 16th chapter by Bhagavan in two categories. One is the external behavior, one is the internal belief system. So this external behavior is of course a result of the internal belief system, and external behavior is more easily visible. But it is important to understand that there is internal belief system which has to be changed, which has to be transformed. If that doesn't happen, only trying to use some techniques to curb the external behavior will not suffice. From 7th verse onwards up to 18th verse, in 11 verses, Bhagavan is giving, including 7th, then 12 verses, he is giving the Asuri Sampada, the internal belief system as well as the external behavior. So pravrittim cha nivrittim cha janana vidurasuraha na shaucham napi chacharah na satyam teshu vidyate. This 7th, 8th, 9th, they are internal belief systems. And then in 9th one, external expression also, prabhavanti ugra karmanaha, based on this belief that there is no truth, it's all only for enjoyment, there is no God. Then external actions also become selfish, aggressive, even violent sometimes. Then 10th also you will find mixture of belief system and external action. Kamamashritya dushpuram, dambhamanamadhanvitaha. These are all internal belief systems. Then they of course manifest in the world outside through the behavior. Chintam aparimeyam, all, most of them are, lot of them are internal belief systems. Akamopabhoga paramaha, they think enjoyment is the supreme goal of life. Then accordingly their behavior will be like that. Whatever I think is the supreme goal, that I will think about, desire, pursue, do actions, and again that cycle will continue. So asha pasha shatair baddhaha, kama krodha parayanaha, with thousands of desires they are bound, become slave to kama and krodha, and with all kinds of cunning manipulative methods acquire more and more wealth, anyayena artha sanchayan. Then I have attained this, I have attained that. So last time we saw kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya, all 6 are covered in these 12 verses. And then we saw about competition. One wants monopoly because ego lives like that. Ego wants full recognition, control, domination, you know, supremacy. So this competitor has been destroyed by me, that enemy has been destroyed by me, and that other one who's remaining, that also I will finish. Ishwaroham aham bhogi, I am Ishwara, meaning some people actually think also they are God. They can do anything. And there are enough flatterers also around who can make them inflate their ego. Aham bhogi, I am born to enjoy, I live a life, very lavish lifestyle. Siddhoham, I have enough power, siddhis. Even spiritually, some people think like that. And Balavan, I am very, very powerful. And Sukhi, my life is full of happiness. This is not that Sukha of Brahman. This is temporary sense enjoyment, Sukha that one keeps getting. If you dig a little deeper, there will be some conflict, sorrow, agitation, trouble, all what was said earlier, na? Chintama parimeyam, all that will be there. But put up one show. I am Balavan, I am Sukhi. This Balavan here is not real strength. See, in the Upanishads, it is said, Na ayam atma balahinena labhya. This atma is not attained by one who is weak. One has to be Balavan. It is not the mental strength to walk the path of dharma. This is Balavan, where one is making people um, suffer, giving them enough pain and sorrow. That type of Balavan, that one gets one's way, tramples upon anybody, does not bother, is not sensitive. It has to be my way or highway. So that type of a thing, Balavan, Ishwaroham, Aham Bhogi. Then 15th one he says, Adhyo bhi janavan asmi, konyo se sadrisho maya. I am very, very rich and I am born in a very good family, in a royal dynasty or in some great lineage. Adhyaha abhijanavan asmi, konyosti sadrisho maya. Who is their equivalent to me? Nobody. Yakshe, I will do yajnas. Dasyami, charity. Modishya, and I will enjoy life. Meaning I will attain punya through all this and I will enjoy life. Acha Swami, they are doing yajna, etc. They do yajna with what attitude? Not with the attitude to please Bhagavan, to show to people that, oh, this person is so spiritual. Every year, Swamiji, this person goes to Kedarnath, Every year, this person does Gayatri Havan. Every year, this person is doing this much charity. Annadan happens on Akshay Tritiya day. This much donation he is giving here, there. See, by itself, if one is doing this with noble intent, very good. But here, example is given of those people who are. We have to read this in conjunction with all the other values. Don't take out only some values and say, oh, how can Swami, Bhagavan say like this? This is one series of verses. Otherwise, one will take this out of context and say, those who are doing yajna and those who are doing dana, Bhagavan has called them asuri. Three types are there, na? It's sattvic, rajasic, tamasic. Those who do tamasic type, it is asuri. Where they will do yajna also, they will not do properly. They will do sometimes prohibited things in the yajna also. They will not follow the vidhi. They will do it sometimes even for damaging, hurting other people. Or they will do in a way where it is just for their name fame. That will come ahead also. And the dan also is for that. It's not genuinely out of some feeling of compassion that somebody is suffering, we can do what we can to remove their sorrow and suffering. Not out of compassion. Out of need for recognition, glory, Will you put my name there? What will be the recognition that I will get? How much publicity will you do? Where all will it be put up? Then Rajasic, Tamasic mindset. So, Yakshye, Dasyami, Modishye, and through this I will rejoice. So, their dana and yajna is for enjoyment, is not for service. Enjoy through the punya that it may give, whatever little punya it will give, if one does it with this attitude, as well as the popularity that it will give. So, Yakshe, Dasyami, Modishya, iti ajnana vimohitaha, completely deluded by ignorance, they are acting in this way. So, one has to understand that such people will use even spiritual sadhanas to boost their ego only and even to inflict pain on others. Then aneka chitta vibhrantaha mohajala samavrataha prasakta kama bhogeshu patanti narake ashuchau. Aneka chitta vibhranta, their mind is bewildered by so many fancies. They are not single pointed in their resolve to evolve. Because enjoyment is only the main purpose. Aneka chitta vibhrantaha. So many fanciful imaginations they will have about all types of enjoyment, about money, about home, about food, about drinks, dance, everything. Mind is only thinking of how to enjoy more and more, how to build more and more, my empire, and how to get more money, and how to multiply, how to invest, how to think, how that it will give more and more returns. Meaning the mind is, and for that it doesn't bother even about morality, about good values, about dharma, nothing. To fulfill one's own fancies, one will do anything. That is asuri. Otherwise, one has ambition, one wants to grow. By itself, the Shastra doesn't condemn that. But it says you rise above that and do it in a dharmic way. Here, this is beyond dharma. So, aneka chitta vibhrantaha. So, mind is totally hijacked by this fanciful imagination. Intellect has delusion. Mohajala samahavritaha. And prasakta kama bhogeshu. At the body level, fully engaged only in sense enjoyments. Patanti narake ashuchau. Then what happens to these people? They fall in hell. Now, when we say, see, if you read Gurudev's commentary, he says so clearly while explaining this about hell, he says this. We need not be great philosophers to understand that such an individual, tired physically, confused mentally, and upset intellectually, will live here in a self-created hell, disturbing his own personality contents of woes to others around him, distributing his own personality content of woes, meaning he's feeling sorrow, suffering, confused, totally shattered personality actually. But the world will hype up, oh, what a life, what enjoyment, what. But that person is confused, deluded, doing wrong things, adharmic things. So, one is that life here itself will become hell. Internally, for sure, externally, may or may not appear to people. And so, this is one. But it also means that after death, also they will go to such realms, which Bhagavan says here. Patanti, they fall. Ashuchau narake. So naraka is a plane of consciousness to purify the jiva, to go through the sorrows and sufferings, to be able to get out of that tendency, adharmic tendency. And the bodies there are given in such a way that till that karma phala is not over, that body will not die. It has that capability. How many other times one is fried like a pakoda, it will not die. All kinds of descriptions are given if you read in the Purana, Bhagavatam also, and Garuda Purana also, and so many other Puranas. The description of hell, and it's not only in our culture, it's there in so many other also. If you go to Cambodia, the description of the hell, how they have depicted on the wall, you see that also is terrifying. But the idea is why is it put up? Why the Shastra says it's not only Swami is all fear psychology, nothing like hell exists. If one wants to take it like that, then you can take it like that. But if one says, no, I have Shraddha in the Shastra, these are realms of consciousness which exist. Great masters have spoken about it. People have written about it, experienced. And it is not that somebody has to come back only from there to tell us. So many things are known through uh, intuition also, through a pure mind, through revelation of Bhagavan. And so, when it is said here, Narake Ashuchau Patanti, the actions are such that they make the jiva fall down. Patanti Naraka. Naraka means a lower level of life where buddhi is not available, discrimination is not there. As a human being, what I can do, I am not doing. That subtle vivek of Atma, Anatma, Nitya, Anitya, Shreyas, Preyas, Sadhan, Sadhya, none of this I know. I don't follow. Even if I know, I don't follow. Then those type of negative karmas will lead to negative results only. While living here also, internally it will be there, and afterwards also. The karmas will make the jiva fall, so that jiva will go into naraka, which is a lower level of evolution. If you see higher realms of consciousness, earth is the center actually in that sense. Bhu is counted in the seven higher worlds. The first one is Bhu, then Bhuva, interspace, Suvaha, heaven, Mahaha, Janaha, Tapaha, Satyam, seven higher worlds. Then Atal Vital, below earth, Atal Vital, Sutal, Rasatal, Talatal, Mahatal, Patal, seven. Below that Patal are another 28, 30, 40, actually innumerable amounts of hell. But Bhagavatam says below that Patal are another 28. It gives only, it gives out 28. Fifth canto, it will say all this. But it does not say that there are only 28. It says there are countless. We are listing only 28. And what type of sin will lead to what type of suffering. So if one says this is all only fear psychology, so even if it is fear psychology, let it be there. What is the point? Whatever way I can follow dharma, I should follow, which is for my own good. One of the definitions of dharma is this: yataha abhyudaya nishreyasa praptihi, by which I attain abhyudaya and nishreyas, meaning prosperity as well as peace, supreme peace. So if one is not following dharma, then one will go through ashanti, all that chinta, moha, this completely hijacked by the six impurities. One will fall, suffer. To prevent that, suppose one says, okay, I don't believe in the existence of hell as a realm of consciousness. Okay, don't believe, no problem. The purpose is live in a dharmic way, by understanding clearly that karma has consequence. Negative karma will take me to the negative spaces. There is no doubt. Even in the world we see that or not. If I want to indulge in something negative, I have to keep company of negative people. I have to go to places where people will sit and plot all this. Or go to such places which appear very nice and sattvic, but in the company of people who are negative, I am sitting and plotting. Then that environment there is negative only. One may go to some, you know, a place where there's a bar or something and while drinking alcohol. One can go there also. Or one is drinking in some big five-star hotel also. A very grand environment, but sitting with those people who are drinking. The company is still negative. Limited example. And when some wrong karma is done, then one will be put in the jail here or not. Then one will be in the company of those people who have done other people who have done negative karmas. That's a limited example again. If the legal system can do that, then Bhagwan's Nyaya will not do. The ego tricks us by saying, I'll get away with it. So many are doing wrong. How does it matter? And this is Kali Yuga. In the name of Kali Yuga, one justifies also. कल युग में तो ऐसा ही है स्वामी जी, क्या कर सकते हैं, युग धर्म है, क्या करें. We all are influenced by it, Kali is responsible for it. Why is Bhagavan punishing us? He only sent us in Kali Yuga. He sent you in Kali Yuga because you had those karmas to be born in Kali Yuga. And he gave you Vivek Shakti also to not do new negative karmas. Gave the knowledge also, brought the satsang also, made the possibilities for you to practice. Of that all I don't want to see. I don't justify. Then Bhagavan says, Patanti narake ashuchau. Fall in some narakas which are unholy, impure, which are going to create more and more suffering. So, now when it was said here earlier, that yakshe, dasyami, how do they do the spiritual rituals also? 17th one says, Atmastambhavita stabdhaha dhanamanamadhanvitaha yajante nama yajnaiste dambhena vidhipurvakam. Atmasambhavitaha. Atmasambhavita means in this context, those who are thinking of themselves as superior to others. They have great superiority complex. I don't sit with this type of people. They are not my level. That type of ego. Atmasambhavita. Stabdhaha. Stabdha here is stubborn and very stiff. They don't even bow down properly when they do namaskar. Today also nowadays people do like that. Just do this much. Do proper namaskar. If you're bowing down, bow down properly with both hands, bend properly, touch the feet, kneel down, touch the feet, proper. What is that? Just touch the knee of that person. Because internally they don't want to bow down just for show. Why does one not bow down to somebody who is elder or a sadhu or a sannyasi or, some respectful person or a guru? Because some ego will be there. Some, they are also human finally. Why should I bow down to them? That precisely that's the purpose of bowing down, is to drop that ego only. We are not bowing down to the person, we are bowing down to the ideals in which they are rooted, which if we revere, they will come into us. So, when a person is so egoistic, arrogant, doesn't have that humility, has that great sense of superiority complex, Atmasambhavitaha, Stabdhaha. You see, in Narad Bhakti Sutra, the word Stabdha is used for the devotees who, in ecstasy of remembrance of Bhagavan, when they forget themselves, they become motionless. In the sense, they get, like Ramakrishna used to go into Samadhi and he will be completely in trance. Stabdha. Stabdho bhavati. When that expression there is, when a seeker realizes the truth, one is stunned. Stabdha. That is different. This stabdha is stiff out of ego. Physical body also is stiff. Mind also doesn't have reverence, humility, atma sambhavita, stabdha. Then dhana mana madanvitaha, filled with pride of dhana, wealth, mana, you know, that great garva, pride, dhana mana, mada, delusion, dhana mana madanvitaha, filled with this delusion of wealth, of popularity, of prestige. And with this attitude, yajante nama yajnaiste. They do nama yajna. Nama yajna doesn't mean doing nama japa. Nama yajna means they do yajna for namesake. Simply to show off. Or simply to, because some people think like that, all the negative karmas I do, then I will do spiritual rituals and they will get offset. Nothing gets offset. Obviously, it's better than not doing something you are doing, but it is not going to offset. Yajante nama yajnaiste. Simply for name sake, one is doing the yajna. Either one doing just as a formality. Some people say also, when the Janevu is being given to them, Upanayana Samskar is being done, they will tell, Panditji, I don't believe in all this. I am doing it only because my parents want me to do. I am not going to follow any rules. Nothing. That child is, because the child doesn't know the importance, the significance, what it will do, how sadhana one can do, what is the importance of Gayatri Mantra, either has not been told or has not bothered to find out, or even if has been told, doesn't value it. So, just for formality, one is doing it. Dambhena. And that also one is doing out of dambha, ostentatiousness, to show off to people. And avidhi purvakam, no proper vidhi. Somehow just do it. So many yajnas, so many programs that happen, the spiritual rituals, etc. One doesn't follow properly what is the method, how to do. Even puja one doesn't do properly, yajna one doesn't do properly, havan doesn't do properly. Somehow just do it. Even today, what has happened, Ekadashi Vrat also has become like that. Doesn't People don't follow what is Ekadashi Vrat? It is a preparation for the worship of Bhagwan Vishnu on Dwadashi. It will start on Dashami evening and end on Dwadashi morning. And no water, no food is the best one. Water one takes. Maximum, if one can't, then take some fruits. If that also is not possible, some people are old or having some disease or they are small children, then eat once in a day. But all this rest of the things is all avidhi purvakam. Where is it written sabudana khichdi you have to eat? Full of so much of starch. But one is doing sabudana khichdi and rajagra ka shira and aloo ka chips and whatnot. And then tell everybody, I am doing Ekadashi. How much one is remembering Bhagwan? Upavasa is to sit near and remember Bhagwan. That day we are supposed to remember Bhagwan. Next day morning we have to worship Bhagwan. Dashami night worship Bhagwan Vishnu. Ekadashi morning worship Bhagwan Vishnu. Dwadashi again worship Bhagwan Vishnu and then break the fast. Where people do. But one wants to say, I do 12 Ekadashis in the whole year. 24, whatever. Dambhena avidhi purvakam. I see sometimes it happens. See, again, I'm saying in hierarchy, better than not doing is you do whichever way, at least you are doing. Slowly, slowly, you'll come to the right way. But we should be clear, okay, I have to rise above this. Many times when people do upvas, continuous 7 days, 10 days, only water, after that they will break the fast, parana will happen. So the intent of that is very important. What is the intent? Is intent is that I am doing tapasya, my mind should be devoted to Bhagwan, I should surrender, I should remember Bhagwan. That is sattvic. Sometimes one is doing it not with that attitude. One is doing with the attitude, if she can do 10, I will do 15. And sometimes these mother-in-laws are talking to each other. You know, my daughter-in-law, she did 10 days of upvas. The other one is saying, that is nothing. Mine has done 15 days. They done 20 days. Are, why are you this competition or what here? But mind is going like that. So instead of the ego sublimating, it increases. Then that is this. Yajante nama yajna is it is only nama yajna. Not really done with the attitude of surrender. If that person has not done with that attitude, and this person, the mother-in-law also is saying, I am giving that example. If the person is really done genuinely and there is only mother-in-law who is having that trouble, in her mind she is thinking, that's a different point. But people do many things, they do only for nama yajna. It's not genuinely. And today it is to put up on social media, Are Rama. Actually, one is not even done, but photo op. One is not done really, let us say, for example, Abhishek of Bhagwan. Properly sit and do the puja, do the Abhishek, properly chant the mantra and devotion, and then no. Just for photo, put one lota of water, take picture, put it up. Khatam baat. What? Before, after, what is the vidhi? Nothing. Yajante nama yajna iste. All the way one will go so much far to some tirthasthan. How much time one is spending there doing sadhana? Think about that. वहां बैठ के भगवान का नाम लो और स्वामी जी वहां जगह ही नहीं होता है. Okay, sit outside there in the temple if the inside doesn't have. Sit below some tree there, sit. Enough places are there where you can sit and do for 20 minutes at least you can do. One will go inside, have darshan, come out. That's all. That is one few seconds. Leading up to that is one doing upvas, is one chanting Bhagwan's name, is one saying till I have darshan of Bhagwan, I am Maun Vrat, I am remembering Bhagwan only. All kinds of other things one is sitting and doing there. Taking photos, commenting on people, thinking about the whole, crowd. Everything one is doing except Vichara Bhagwan. Then take photographs, take videos, make blogs, put it on. अरे पहले साधना करो उसके बाद ये सब करो. Nobody is saying don't do any of this, but it is just nama. क्योंकि I went to Kedarnath, I went to Badrinath, I went to 12 Jyotirlingas, fat, and put one album and one reel and patapat. In that process of going to 12 Jyotirlings, how much time did one remember Bhagwan Shiva? What niyam did you follow? What anushthan did you do? Tirtha literally means that. Tiryate anaya iti tirtham. A place which takes you across your negativity. That place has that power. We should always remember that. Tirtha, any place cannot be called Tirtha. Just because everybody is going there doesn't become a Tirtha. The place becomes powerful. A place is called as a Tirtha when it has these two capabilities. One, it will destroy your papa karmas. Two, it will give punya. And that is possible because of the presence of Bhagwan there. Some great Mahatmas would have installed or done some Prana Pratishtha, presence of some sacred rivers like Ganga or Yamuna or any Godavari, Kaveri, Brahmaputra, any of these sacred rivers. And people have done tapasya there. Sadhus, Mahatmas, sannyasis, bhaktas. Then that place becomes tirtha. Otherwise, one will put up some temple, create some belief system, spread the word. People will say, yes, yes, I went there. This desire of mine got fulfilled, that desire of mine got fulfilled, all that. And then start doing some kind of ritual there. And then after a few years, you will find lot of bheed there. That doesn't become a tirtha by itself. If the proper vidhi has not been followed and worship has not happened, is not happening continuously, and Shastra Mahima is there, the Prana Pratishtha is there, Tapasya is there, so many things are there to contribute. All that is proper vidhi, then that is called Tirthasthan. So the point is, when it is said here, Dambhena avidhi purvakam, with great, arrogance, pride, hypocrisy, one is doing all this Nama Yajna just for namesake and without following any proper vidhi. We should find out for every simple spiritual ritual that we do, we should find out what is the vidhi that Shastra is saying. If we want to revive Sanatan Dharma, that is one way to revive. Every festival that we celebrate, what is the scriptural way to celebrate this festival? Otherwise, popularly, to anything is going on. What is the use of that? A festival will also help to do both punya increase and papa destruction. Oh, Swami, it will destroy papa. Yes, sanchit karma papa, what is there, na, it will destroy. And it will destroy the tendency here by making the buddhi sattvic now, so that new papa I don't do. What has come in my prarabdha already fructified, that I can't avoid, that can't be dropped, that I have to face, but it will help me to face it with dignity. Without reacting, accepting, okay, something I must have done, this has come to me, now let me not compromise, let me walk the path of dharma. So whether it is a simple puja, festival, japa, yajna, upvas, whatever sadhana we are doing, we need to find out what is the scriptural basis. There are enough books available for it. There's a Gita Press book which is a very nice one called Vrat Parichay. Every month what are the vratas that come in Hindu calendar, they have written nicely what is the method, how to follow that vrata, what some shloka has to be chanted and who has to be worshipped, everything given beautifully. Vrat Parichay. So, and if we go to the originals, so then nothing like it. Suppose you want to know how Shivratri is to be observed, open Shiv Puran and read. It is there. How to observe Shivratri, what is the Mahatmya of Shivratri, how to worship the Shivalinga. So that is what one has to do. Otherwise, this is Asuri Sampada. Somehow one is doing it. Our scriptures give even simple ways of how to wake up in the morning. What should be done at waking up? Do you know it is said Devatas, those who are divine beings, and those human beings also who are in a sattvic state, they get up in Brahma Muhurat and get ready to do that, and then do their Sandhya Vandan and do their sadhana and worship Bhagwan Surya and welcome Bhagwan Surya. Before Bhagwan Surya rises, these people are ready. Those who are humans, they rise at least at sunrise. And it is said those who wake up after sunrise, they are Rakshasas. Think about that. Why? Where Bhagwan has already come. It's like some great person has come to my house. I am sleeping away and snoring away to glory. I let them come. The Shastra gives so many methods how to make our life tuned to the right way of living, to dharma, to integrate our body, mind, intellect, sleep early, wake up early, all that. When we don't know those vidhis, we don't follow, then dambhena vidhi purvakam. So this is the 17th one. Then the 18th one. Ahankaram balam darpam kamam krodham cha samshritaha mamatma paradeheshu Pradvishantobhyasuyakaha. Ahankaram, taking resort to ego. Make small things into big issues. Ego is very touchy. Little things, so sensitive and so fragile. Something one says, oh, this person gets so badly affected. Someone thing one doesn't say, oh, still affected. If you smile, they get affected. If you don't smile, they get affected. Are ahankaram. Every little thing they take personally. Are they people may not reply to you on WhatsApp because they may be busy doing something else, or they will take some time to think and reply. But no, I have message. I am being ignored. There nobody cares for me. Ahankaram. Small little things also they make into big. When nothing great is there na in life to do, petty things become big, and one makes mountain of a mole because there's nothing bigger to think about in life. Keep only talking about other people and pull the other people down, pull yourself down. There's ahankaram. Ahankar has to be surrendered at the feet of Bhagwan or at the feet of, Sadguru, or have a noble cause to serve. This is what my life is dedicated to. Otherwise, petty little fights, whole life goes in that. Adhivyad, Vidhi Vyadhi Abhimanagrastam Lokam Shoka Hatam Cha Samastam. Shankaracharya says that. Abhimanagrastam. How much battles are all petty ego battles? Even wars which are happening, so many are ego battles. How one is even reacting at that level? Think about it. Right from one's own personal life and home to the national, international level, so many things are petty ego clashes only. Abhimanagrastam. Then naturally sorrow and suffering will be there in the world. So, ahankaram, balam. This balam, as was we saw earlier, this is that same negative balam, where one is using one's power, there's a physical power, financial power, social power, whatever power one has, to torment people, to deny opportunities, to only maintain one's own hold, to prevent any new system from forming or new people from coming up. Nothing. I have to. Ahankaram, balam. And if somebody tries to correct them or tell them ki bhai, this is not right, use that force and crush them. Ahankaram, balam. Then darpam, haughtiness. Always acting out of superiority, darpam. Kamam, selfishness or lust. Krodham, anger. Samshritaha, they have taken refuge in these. Then what do? Mamatma paradeheshu. Bhagavan says, I who am residing in them and I who am residing in the others' hearts. Paradeheshu. Pradvishantaha. They are hating me in their own heart and in the hearts of all. And abhyasuyakaha. They are, such people are malicious people. So what does he mean here by saying mamatma paradeheshu pradvishantaha? These people don't hear the voice of the conscience. When the voice of conscience is telling this is wrong, don't do this, they won't hear. Why? Ahankaram balam darpam kamam krodham cha samshritaha. Because they have taken refuge of ahankar. So even if the voice of conscience tells them don't do this, they will not listen. And they will do things which knowingly are hurtful and harmful. Physically, emotionally, intellectually, financially, socially, in all ways. It is hurting them also, it is hurting others also. They will take those kind of steps. Even simple choices that one makes in terms of food, in terms of the things that one does, how one speaks, in all. They don't bother about the inner voice of conscience. They will compromise. Satyam, Ahimsa, Brahmacharya. Gurudev used to say these are three cardinal principles of Sanatana Dharma. And very interesting it is. If one principle also we compromise, other two get compromised. So they are not technically uh, three exclusive compartments. They are all interconnected. And his understanding of Satyam, what Gurudev used to explain in self-unfoldment, Kindle Life. Satyam is intellectual conviction and no compromise with what I am convinced by. Of course, they have to be dharmic convictions as per the scripture. Ahimsa is non-violence at the mental level and not thinking ill of anybody or trying to hurt or harm anybody mentally. And minimum violence at the physical level, where I don't need to destroy life for my sustenance and food, etc. I should not. Where I have choices, I should make intelligent vegetarian choices. So ahimsa at mental level, satyam at intellectual level, brahmacharya is moderation in all dharmic sense contacts. These three values one can live, then one will be following dharma. Now they will compromise with all the three. This we saw earlier also. Satyam, ahimsa, brahmacharya. Asatyam apratishtamte jagadahuranishwaram. In that we saw. So when one compromises, that inner voice is saying, don't do this. You are having a different conviction and you are living according to something else now. Ahankara is taking you for a ride, but that person doesn't listen. Gives in. So that is this Mamatma. When one doesn't listen to the voice of conscience, does negative karma, then the conflict will be there in the buddhi and the mind will not be at peace. Then the external result also as a sorrow and suffering will come. Bhagavan is saying, you are torturing me who is in your heart. Then same way one is doing to others, bringing sorrow and suffering to people. When one thinks that I am troubling others, or one doesn't even think I'm troubling others, one thinks this is my right to do this, I will be most powerful by this. Let them suffer, doesn't matter, they deserve this. And in the name of competition and hard work, one says, I have struggled to come up so much. Let them also struggle. I have also suffered. People have put me down also, but I have pushed my way up. So let them also. I don't care. I will also bulldoze them and I will reach the top. All that justification one will give. From spiritual standpoint, what it is, Bhagavan says that you are torturing me who is in the hearts of all. That subtle vision one has to have. When one doesn't have, then one will justify any of this. In eyes of Bhagavan and the Shastra, this is Asuri Sampada only. World may justify it, but samsara is temporary. Bondage it creates is permanent then. When we compromise, then suffering is so much. So now, having said this much, this is from verse number 7 up to 18. All Asuri Sampadas Bhagavan has given. Again, these are only indicators. It is for us to introspect and come out of it. It's not to brand ourselves also कि यार मैं तो आसुरी हूँ. Or not even to brand. Definitely don't brand others कि अरे तू तो असुर निकला. As per the Gita, you are an asura. It is not for brand other people. It is for us to get out of our weaknesses if we have any of these. Now Bhagavan says the result. What is the result of this? So 19th and 20th, he gives the result. तानहं द्विषत क्रूरान् संसारेषु नराधमान् क्षिपां यजस्रमशुभान् आसुरीष्वेव योनिषु आसुरीं योनिमापन्नाः मूढा जन्मनि जन्मनि मामप्राप्यैव कौन्तेय ततो यान्त्यधमां गतिम्. So now two verses he gives. What is the result of this? Tan, such people, Dvishatah, those who are hating me, Kruran, those who have become cruel, they are worst in the samsara. Samsareshu naradhaman, of in the human beings, they are the worst of human beings. Then what does Bhagavan say? Aham kshipami, I throw them. Ajasram, forever. Ashubhan, in impure. Asurishu eva yonishu, in womb of the demons and such beings who are low. Lower forms of life they will go into. Now what does this mean? Swamiji, Bhagwan is having such hatred against them. Bhagwan is not having, these are the people who are having hatred against Bhagwan. And then they are doing all kinds of immoral things, torturing Bhagwan in their heart and Bhagwan in the hearts of all. It is their karma which is taking them there. Bhagwan created the system. Now when he says here, Kshipami Ajasram, don't think Bhagwan is personally lifting and throwing them into hell. The karma phala, Bhagwan is the karma phala data. So he gives the result, and how he will give result as per your karma. He doesn't do partiality. Samoham sarva bhuteshu, he said, all beings are equal to me. Name dveshyosti na priya. And then why is he sending them into hell? Swamiji, see, even in Hinduism they have forever eternal hell. Like how they have in Abrahamic religions, you also have here in Hinduism. Now how is it different? Tell me. Please remember, this is not eternal hell like that. This is Ajasran. Ajasram does not mean here eternal hell. It means long period of time, because it will take time for them to come out of that mindset. And the karmas that they have done, they have to reap the results of all that. Then they will come into other yonis. Then they purify. Then they come to human life. Oh, long process. Why? Because they did not use the human opportunity well. They misused it, abused it, and did negative karma, brought sorrow upon themselves and upon everybody else. So Bhagavan says, okay, you don't want human life. The karmas you are doing deserve this type of a yoni. Go to that yoni. Please remember, this is not a thing where it is Bhagavan is doing out of hatred कि तुमने ऐसा किया ना मेरे साथ, मैं तुमको punishment देता हूँ. It's not like that. Bhagavan doesn't hate anybody. Bhagavan is the same to all. It's just that some people have turned towards Bhagavan and manifested their potential and used the human life very well. Some people did not do that and did all kinds of wrong things, so they brought upon themselves suffering. If fire says that whoever touches me, I will burn you, is it a statement out of hatred or is it a fact? If fire is being touched, you will burn. Now somebody has done negative karma, they will go to hell. Why? Because that is the karma, that phala they deserve, and they will go to lower yonis also. And there they will go through suffering. Then come out of that. In fact, it is said, when a person goes to these lower yonis or to Naraka, etc., they will get purified. Because there you can't add new karma. Only in Manusha Yoni, in Karma Bhumi, which is earth, you can add. Other yonis and other lokas, you are exhausting karma. And so, in Ramcharitmanas, if you see, it will be said so clearly that it is better that you suffer in hell than you be in a bad company. Think about that. Why it is said like that? Because in bad company, you are doing negative karmas and sowing seeds for more negative karmas. They are taking you away from path of dharma, making you fall. And once you do the negative karma under their influence, the seed is sown. Again, the new vasana is created, which will again make you do negative. So one is creating more and more negative karmas in the company of bad people or this asuric temperament. Compared to that, it is better to be in hell because there one is not creating new karma, one is exhausting existing ones, the negative ones, however painful it is. In hell as well as in lower yonis. Bhagwan said both. Earlier he said, Patanti narake ashuchau, they will fall into hell. And then he said, after they finish that, they will come into lower yonis. Asuri yoni and all the other yonis, they will come into some of the terrific yonis. So when he says Kshipami Ajasram Ashubhan Asurishveva Yonishu, Eva means only. Only in lower yonis I will put them. Why? Because the karma deserves like that. Sometimes it can be even all this snake and scorpion and tiger, lion, the animal yonis one will go through. Ferocious. Because one lived in that way, one experienced certain karmas, did certain karmas like that, and now so okay, be born in this. And again remember, all this Bhagavan is doing out of love only for that person to come out of that. It is not out of hatred. Bhagavan's love is same for all, unconditional. Because Bhagavan only is Atma of all. That we should not forget. That's the difference between Sanatan Dharma and others. We believe that Bhagavan only is appearing as all this. So Bhagavan only has become this particular jiva and is completely deluded and doing all the negative karmas, and Bhagavan only will come out of it. But that doesn't mean that the karma one will get away. So one is born into lower yonis, one will go through all that till one comes to realize, what is this? Vairagya one gets, starts following dharma. Then one comes to realize, I am Brahman only, all this was just. But till one doesn't come to that state, one will go through suffering, and punya and papa will give its result. So one should not justify saying finally it's all Brahman. Doesn't matter what you do. What so much of dharma we have to follow? Just do anything. Why? Anyway, it's all illusion. In the realm of illusion, there is system of karma functioning. Don't forget that. So when he says Kshipami Ajasram Ashubhan, this is not Bhagavan has felt personally hurt कि you hate me, na? Because you hate me, because you did not worship me, and because you have insulted me, and because you have told wrong things about me, this is blasphemy, I will put you into hell. There is no such personal vendetta, please. In fact, it is opposite. Bhagavan feels more for those jivas who are asuri, and he helps them to come out. And so many examples you will see where this Rakshasas etc. have been killed and they have got mukti because Bhagavan took an avatar to kill them. The Jai and Vijay is not written in Bhagavatam, maybe written in some other Purana or maybe some Kathakars have said it. It is said, popularly it is said, that the Jai and Vijay were given two choices. They are Dwarpals of Bhagavan Vishnu and they acted out of arrogance, and Sanat Kumar cursed them. Because Sanat Kumars are 5-year-old small children who are Digambara Vesha, they don't wear clothes, but they are the wisest and Param Jnanis. Now the Jai and Vijay Dwarpal, they thought, who are these small children coming like this without clothes? They stopped them and you can't go inside. They explained, we are Sanat Kumars and we have always been going, no, you can't go. So then they got cursed. You will take birth on the earth for 3 times. Now Bhagavan, it is said, gave them a choice. You can be born as good people for 100 births, or you can be born 3 births as asuras, and I will come down, I will take avatar to kill you, and then you will come back to Vaikuntha. So they chose the second option. Acha Swami, then let us all become asuras. It is not like that. So easy. And second point is that they were Jai and Vijay before. They were Dwarpals of Bhagavan who have done such good work, such sadhana, tapasya, that they could be Dwarpals of Bhagwan. And then in that split moment of ego and arrogance, they fell. Then they got the karma follow of that. Imagine one fall, one incident, and 3 times they are born. We have so many instances of ego, anger, greed, jealousy, passion, oh bapre. So the story is not to justify this. The story is to say that Bhagwan acts out of compassion. Even if these people are in Asuri Yoni, Bhagwan has still compassion only for them and grants them mukti. So the idea is to understand this part, that we should walk the path of dharma. Kshipam yajasram ashubhan asurishu eva yonishu. Then continuing further, he says, Asurim yonim apannaha mudha janmani janmani. It is not one life, many lives they will take this Asuri yoni. Mudha janmani janmani. Why? Because they wasted human opportunity. And they lived in Asuric ways, then that environment they need. So, okay, many lives you will get. Mudha janmani janmani. So, from human level, they fall down and they keep going down and keep taking birth in that Asuri yoni. From human level to hell, from hell to Asuri yoni, again and again birth in the Asuri yoni, till finally their karma is exhausted, then they come to human. And in between, if some other karma has got fructified, then they will go to those yonis and then come to human. Human birth won't be so easy to get. So that's why he says, Mudha, they are deluded. Mudha janmani janmani. Mam aprapyaiva kaunteya tato yanti adhamam gatim. Because they did not use this opportunity to come to me, realize my true nature, realize oneness with me. Adhamam gatim. They fall into the lower and lower yonis. So now this is what Bhagavan says. This is the result of the karma. Again remember, Bhagavan is not hating. Bhagavan has love and compassion towards all. But if somebody says, no, I will misuse my life, I will do all kinds of Asuri things only. If you want to do only Asuri things, then you go ahead and do only Asuri things, then you get the result of it. Or kya? What else can Bhagavan say? He gave the freedom. And now one is misusing. He gave the Shastra also. So, this portion now, where Asuri Sampada was given, then the results also are given. Now he gives a warning, saying that these are 3 sure gates to hell. What are they? Trividham narakasyedam dvaram nashanam kamah krodhastatha lobhah tasmade tatrayam tyajet. So Bhagavan says here, Trividham narakasya idam dvaram. This means these are the gates for hell. Which are they? 3 gates are there. And what will they do? Nashanam atmanah. They will destroy the individual. Atma here doesn't mean Brahman. That is indestructible. Meaning they destroy the peace of mind of that person. They destroy the dharma kshamata. They destroy the viveka shakti. They will destroy the capability to surrender the ahankar. All. It will all destroy all that. Higher potentials all destroyed. By what? By this ego, which resorts to these 3 things. What are these 3 gates of hell? Kamaha, Krodha, Lobha. Selfishness or lust, Kama. Krodha, anger. And Lobha is greed. Now you think about this. Connect these to Satyam, Ahimsa, Brahmacharya. When Kama comes, Brahmacharya gone. Kamaturanam na bhayam na lajja. Manusmriti says that the person who is overpowered by karma, then no fear and no shame. Anything that person will do. It's not only lust, it is some selfish desire possesses the mind, na, that mind will do anything. So karma makes a person lose brahmacharya. Krodha makes a person lose ahimsa, becomes angry, hurts oneself, hurts others, both mentally. Then of course verbal violence and then the physical violence, all that can also happen. So karma drop help karma because of karma one loses brahmacharya, because of krodha one loses ahimsa, and because of lobha one loses satyam also. One knows what is right, but one will still compromise because one wants immediate returns, quick gain, shortcut, fatafat more wealth I want. Greed. Bhagwan calls these as sure gates of hell. They will make life miserable here and miserable hereafter also. And are they given to us by Bhagwan? No, we have cultivated them. We are holding on to them. In our mind, we value kama, krodha, lobha, and we think that they are required to live a life of enjoyment, of success, name, fame. If we don't have these, we will not progress. And today is Kali Yuga. All that justification is in our head. And if we don't have these, people will take us for a ride. So many justifications. Then Bhagwan says, this is what you have held on to in your mind, so you have to drop. Tasmad etat tyajet. You drop this. Don't say, Bhagwan, please take away karma from me. But I am not stopping behavior of encouraging karma. I am seeing any vulgar thing available. I am talking in any, very flirtatious way. Or I am encouraging any egoistic behavior. No, but Bhagwan, please take away. I'm lot of problem, with I'm very, very angry person, what to do. My anger is just not leaving me. Please, you take away anger. But I'm not ready to drop my attachments because of which anger is there. Karma only leads to krodha also. I'm not ready to see the other person's standpoint. I'm not ready to be empathetic, to pause, not to be judgmental, not to be reactive, to pause and think what are the other possibilities, have empathy, invoke compassion. None, no, no. But Bhagavan, please take away my karma, my krodha, my lobha. If sincerely one is praying and saying, I offer it to you, Bhagavan, now I don't want, and one changes the behavior, that will work. If one is not doing that, internally justifications continue for kama, krodha, lobha. Externally actions also continue which will fuel kama, krodha, lobha. Suppose you go and tell the doctor, doctor, please, please take away all the fat that is there in my body. Please take away. What will the doctor do? Nothing he can do. You have put on the weight, you have put on the fat because of your dietary habits, your lack of exercise, sedentary lifestyle. Now you do calorie deficit, then only you will lose weight, and you do certain exercises, then fat percentage will go down. Now the doctor also gives you some medicine for some, let us say for example, some medicine is given, कि भाई you eat this, it will help you. But you are not stopping the behavior of eating anything and everything. Then how will that pill work? So Bhagavan says, Tasmad etat trayam tyajet. You drop this. You have held on to this because you value this. No, Swami, how can we live without kama, krodha, lobha? We can happily live, more happily we can live. Selfless work one can do. Even in one's own home, one can be selfless. Really lovingly one does it, not for ego, not for recognition. Selflessly, lovingly, who prevents us from doing? Doesn't mean that we allow anybody to do anything to us, but we act out of selflessness, genuine concern, compassion, keeping everybody in mind, oneness. No, but they are not acting like that. Then you prevent some destructive behavior from that side. If it is coming, you resist it, but you don't have to become negative because of that. So Bhagwan very clearly says, see, even when Shishupal was uh, insulting Bhagwan, Bhagwan tolerated 100 insults. After that, he took Sudarshan Chakra, cut off his head. So our Shastra doesn't say ki take any behavior of anybody. No. But have compassion, have empathy, have tolerance. Don't compromise with your ideas because of that. And if it required, fight it out. But no dvesha in the heart. Righteous anger, there is no problem. But only one will know which is righteous anger and where it is. One is a victim of it. Only for anger. So the three negativities can be acceptable only in these conditions. Kama, when I have desire to be one with Bhagavan, when I have a desire to serve, when I have this sattvic desire which will help me to surrender, then it is still better. Krodha, when I have righteous anger towards anyaya that is happening and it's my duty, then I will fight it out. But no dvesha in the heart. And lobha, when I am greedy for spending maximum time in sadhana, seva, then it is still justified. But it is not justified in any other situation. Even here, finally one has to drop all these to realize oneness. So Bhagavan says, Tasmadeta Trayam Tyajet. These three, they will definitely ruin our peace of mind. Even one is enough. Why three? Bhagavan is saying these are three sure gates to hell. If one wants to try, try. Any one gate also. Apply. Go into straight, it will take you to hell only. Entry is free. No entry ticket. Gates of hell are open. Go, walk in any time. And many people walk in through the day every time. Not once in a day. Many multiple entries. Free pass na any as many times as you want you can travel. That's how it is. As many times one wants. The kama, krodha, lobha, one is getting hijacked full time. So each of these, when he says Dharma viruddho bhuteshu kamosmi bharatarshava. I am that karma which is not devoid of dharma. That karma is still better, justified. But finally one has to drop that also. So kamaha, krodhaha, lobhaha, tasmad etatrayam tyajet. He says, Bhagavan says you drop these. Because this is what these three are what make us asuri. And the source of all these three is ahankar. So how to overcome these? Overcome ahankar. Surrender to Bhagavan, surrender to a higher purpose, anchor in the duty for the sake of duty, anchor in love for people around, for my family. The more my ego finds an altar to drop itself, the better will be abidance in dharma. More of this we will take up in our next class and we will conclude the chapter. So 29th, not 29th, next Thursday, yes, 30th, we will have a class. And with that, we will conclude this chapter. So for today, we will stop here. Any questions one has, one will take up after the Arati. So we thank all the Yajmans, the Mukhya Yajmans, for the whole series, then the Yajmans for the Aratis, Dainik Yajmans, as well as Dainik Arati Yajmans. May Bhagwan's grace be with us to live Satyam, Ahimsa and Brahmacharya and to surrender our ego and to be free from Kama, Krodha and Lobha. And may our life be peaceful, happy, and may we serve everybody as the expressions of the divine. Om Tat Sat, Jai Shri Krishna.
ॐ जय भगवद्गीते मैया जय भगवद्गीते हरिय कमल विहारिणि सुन्दर सुपुनीते ॐ जय भगवद्गीते कर्म सुमर्म प्रकाशिनि कामासक्तिहरा तत्त्वज्ञानविकासिनि विद्या ब्रह्मपरा ॐ जय भगवद्गीते निश्चलभक्तिविधायिनि निर्मलमलहारिणि शरणरहस्यप्रदायिनि सबविधि सुखकारी ॐ जय भगवद्गीते रागद्वेषविदारिणि कारिणि मोद सदा भवभयहारिणि तारिणि परमानन्दप्रदा ॐ जय भगवद्गीते आसुरभावविनाशिनि नाशिनि तमरजनि दैवी सद्गुणदायिनि हरिरसिका सजनी ॐ जय भगवद्गीते समता त्याग सिखावनी हरिमुख की बानी सकल शास्त्र की स्वामिनी श्रुतियों की रानी ॐ जय भगवद्गीते दया सुधा बरसावनी मातु कृपा की जय हरि पर प्रेम दान कर अपनों कर लीजय ॐ जय भगवद्गीते ॐ जय भगवद्गीते मैया जय भगवद्गीते हरिय कमल विहारिणि सुन्दर सुपुनीते ॐ जय भगवद्गीते ॐ जय भगवद्गीते ॐ जय भगवद्गीते बोलिए गीता मैया की जय
बोलिए श्री कृष्णचंद्र भगवान की जय, श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। यस
Hari Om Swamiji, am I audible?
यस
Swamiji, just a clarification. I think you spoke about it, but I just wanted to tell you, like, from when we are young and as we are growing older, because we are young, many of these asuric qualities, they are there. They come to us because we're not exposed to scriptures. So probably the power of being young, sometimes your background or whatever, it could be, you feel smarter. So many of these things come, but as you evolve, what I found is I still have like a certain asuric qualities, but having worked and having been with you for such a long time, they do come in the mind. Like, the biggest one is bhaya. There is always a little fear. I don't get that way scared, but sometimes the mind, that little fear crosses your mind. The other thing is, tinges of jealousy which cross the mind. And this thing, the anger that used to be there, that has gone, but it's also given rise to sometime like the way you reply back. You may not be the most polite sometimes, very frustrating. Those kind of things are there. So those things still, they linger in the head or they come. You try harder, out outwardly not to show it, control all that, but the cleansing of the mind still, there's some way to go. So is there some way I can address this? Journaling did help to remove, some of the issues, but it still remains. So I thought just here.
See, so transformation is happening. It takes little time also, and things would have reduced, and you are able to control. All those are good signs of progress. Internally, their external expression has got reduced. So at least you have Dhamma, Shama has to be cultivated. Two things will help here. One is to find joy within. I to enjoy what I am doing, how much I am progressing, my bhakti, my
Mhm.
sadhana. The more joy is filled in the heart, these things will go away. For that, I have to
Yeah.
see how grateful I am, what we discussed earlier. That is one.
Yeah.
Second, one has to remind oneself again and again, what is my purpose here? What is my goal here? I came here in this human life to realize the truth. Other things are temporary actually, but generally we
Yeah.
forget this part and then the other things take up more time, effort, and our attention of the mind. Then we get attached, then anger and other things will come. Otherwise, even if fear comes, even if anger comes, one can drop it because attachment is not there. Raga is the cause of krodha and bhaya. Raga has to be dropped. That
Okay.
raga is dropped when so I have to identify what am I attached to and what is my objective. I came here, I am a jiva towards my journey of realization. Temporarily, I am having certain associations. My goal is to realize the truth in my heart and see the same in the hearts of all. If I remind myself of
Mm.
that goal, then other things will fall into place. Then I will be able to see the big picture, then things will fall into place. When I forget the big picture, then the particular things I'm focused on, then I get attached to those.
True.
That's what Bhagavan told Arjun. He showed him the big picture, the biggest picture he showed him, Vishwaroop he showed him, past, present, future. Then all attachment of Arjun suddenly went, thinking, "Arey, what
Okay.
is this? I'm one instrument, Bhagavan is the Karta."
Yeah.
So that is what one has to keep in mind. Ki
Do
what is
that.
my ultimate objective? And find joy within.
Yeah. Do I do that? I think the reflection definitely helps, and the journaling and the soul communication and trying to find those answers help. But I find that lingering still continues, and it comes when you least expect it. And sometimes I feel bad when I reflect, especially when I talk to my parents, in a slightly rude way. So it hurts.
No, it happens to all of us. It happens. It's a journey. We have to all be alert and keep. That's why surrendering and praying to Bhagavan to remain in that level of alertness.
Okay, I'll try. Adios. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Om Purnamada Purnamidam
Oma,
Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Guru Pyo Namaha. Harihi Om. You're asking something?
yeah, Swamiji.
Haji.
Sorry, my pronounced you. I wanted to share something, two things. First of all, there was a lot of phobias, not fears, but phobias to go to the doctors for any health issues, pain and all. And for my eye surgery, it was very difficult. Anyway, both my eye surgeries are done very successfully. I can see much better.
Very
My
good.
mind is gone out of depression and I can see everything well, like 90-94% results,
Very nice.
where the doctor said कि बहुत देर से आए तुम तो 50% results होगा. So anyway, so we had discussed with the doctors कि they'll do the robotic method for the surgery. Like it will take 3 minutes and then the other cataract surgery will take longer because it is hardened. So we opted for that because they said manually कुछ नहीं करना पड़ेगा, robotic में हो जाएगा. So I told her to give the doctor to give the बेहोशी की दवा. So I didn't want to get the prick on my eye. So anyway, that incident I want to share because it is linked with your pravachans all these years, like the main concept of Vedanta. So I mean, for some time I was awake when it was getting crushed, my eye cataract. It was getting crushed with the robotic method. I was like in a cave sort of, and I could see some things. And then later on also some cave and images, some designs were there. But after that I was knocked off. When I came to my senses, I could feel only my feet. I could only feel my fingers and all, and then the throat was paining and lips, that much only. And then I said, "My, I'm alive. I'm not there. I'm there." Then I said, "Okay, BMI, body, mind, intellect." And then I remembered you also, Swamiji. All these years, is giving pravachan. So that was a very good experience. I could manage the through it. I could withstand it, and it was really good. And काफी depression भी निकल गया because I accepted the fear and I faced it. Of course, your pravachans and many other people prayed for me, so I'm highly grateful.
Wonderful.
And I got the book also, Be the Sivas. So I started reading. I read only 2 pages because I don't want to strain right now.
Yeah, take your time.
Thank you. I'm really grateful to you.
Hari Om.
Thank you
Bhagwan's
so much.
grace be with you. Hari Om.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Hari Om.